Back where we belong, baby. Back in the Champions League and back getting 3 points and wins in the Champions League as it finishes Tottenham Hotspur 1, Villarreal 0. There was a lot of former Arsenal players on the pitch and they've only gone and lost against the best team from North London. But I've seen many people say, oh, Tottenham, or did Tottenham get a bit lucky tonight? You know, it wasn't the most glamorous of wins, but a win's a win. Another clean sheet. Tottenham go marching on in the Champions League. A very important first win in the competition against, you know, a Villarreal side who are quite strong, who have started the season off really well as well. Got some good talents here and there. But I thought it was quite a solid performance from Spurs. Some little issues here and there, which we will discuss in this video as we react to another great win and being back in the Champions League. Thomas Frank's first game in the competition, which I will also talk about as well, because there's a lot of talk again about, like, will Thomas Frank be able to balance, you know, Champions League, Premier League and all the other cup competitions. So that will be a very interesting topic for debate. But before we go any further, if you are new to the Sunshot Spurs YouTube channel and you're just discovering me now, then leave your likes, subscribe. I'll say this now, I'm about 60 or so subscribers away from 10k, 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Who would have thought this? I've started this channel 3 years ago. So subscribe, hit the notification bell because it'll let you know when I've gone live. Also, leave your comments. What did you make of it? Who was your man of the match? I've got one in mind that I'll tell you later on in the video. And also, if you can, hype the video. Swipe across in the comments sort of section and you can hype it so other people can see this video as well. But enough of me doing all these call to actions. Let's talk about the game and talk about the stats. Because that's all we come for, doesn't it? We want to know the breakdown of it. And it obviously ended 1-0 to Tottenham against Villarreal. Tottenham with 9 shots, 1 on target. I mean, could be worrying, but 58% possession. And Villarreal, where people were saying, oh, Villarreal have come into it in the second half, 10 shots, none on target, 42% possession. So I think we did, in fact, control the game. Maybe we did, you know, as it went on, it went in their favour a little bit. And they had a few chances, but I don't remember Vicario being tested all that much in the game. So in all, I thought it was quite a controlled game. There was a few wayward passes. There was a moment or a stretch. I think the first 30 minutes was good from Spurs, really electric. Good to see Xavi Simos getting on the ball, Mo Kudus. As well, Sarr and Bergvall I thought were good. Richarlison, I think, struggled in this match again. But I believe as the game went on, you know, it was just, there was a stretch in the second half where our passing was quite poor from Romero, Van der Ven, and also Bentancur as well. But I think we sort of knew, and like the way the game was going. And I said this in my, I did a little video on Monday night, sort of talking about the West Ham game and Thomas Frank start to life at Spurs, life in the Premier League. And again tonight, it's a comfortable watch. Like, it might not be the most exciting all the time, and we talk about Ange Postecoglou and how he was exciting and he was an entertainer, but the amount of goals we conceded was biblical. It was quite crazy, you know. And Thomas Frank is already keeping clean sheets. I think that's his 4th clean sheet this season in all competitions. We've only conceded 1 goal, which is absolutely fantastic. So really, really happy to see. But I can see where the issues sort of lie at the moment. I would say issues, but I don't really want to call it issues because I think at the moment Tottenham are looking quite strong in all different facets. But what we got to remember is this is a new team in a new system. You know, defensive wise, I think we look quite strong. We're defending a lot deeper than we were under, say, Ange Postecoglou, where it was a high line. So you could see there were moments, especially when Van der Ven picked up that yellow. It was like, that was quite Ange Ball-esque, wasn't it? But I mean, it was a yellow, it wasn't a red, it wasn't last man, it wasn't a penalty, so you can forget all that. Xavi Simons, I will say, quite lucky to stay on the pitch with that yellow. But I don't think the first challenge was a yellow anyway, so I think that sort of evens it out. And Randal Kolo Muani made his debut and got a yellow within 30 seconds. I'll be honest, I think in the next game against Brighton, I'd start with Randal Kolo Muani through the middle instead of a Richarlison. I'm hoping Dominic Solanke's not out for too long because I'd like to see Solanke and Richarlison given a bit of pressure and pushed in that position as the striker. You know, not guaranteed his place. But as I'm saying, you know, it's a new look attack. Kudos, Xavi Simons growing into it. I think Xavi Simons, you know, he does look good with the ball at his feet, dribbling. He's pacey, maybe a bit weak in areas, but he will, you know, get better at that. But some of his footwork, the little back heels and skills to, work well with Spence on that left-hand side was really, really good. There was just a few moments defensively where we did look a bit scarce, and I'd say that was maybe from the Pedro Porro side of the field, especially that chance that I think Buchanan had, where, he's free on that side. Porro sort of doesn't check over his shoulder. So that was quite poor in that regard. But I think the game was sort of won and lost. The referee lost control of that game. I mean, the people who say that the referees in Europe or European competition, Champions League, Europa League and Conference League are barking up the wrong tree. I mean, he was so card happy early on that it sort of set the sort of precedent that this is how I'm going to referee this game. And some of the yellow cards were so soft. And then he had no, when it was getting a bit rougher, he had no excuses but to then get the yellow cards out therefore after, which was quite frustrating, especially from a Spurs fan's point of view. But yeah, I mean, I just think in these sort of games, these early games in the Champions League, I've seen some of the results, in the Dortmund game against Juventus, high scoring, Real Madrid winning late on. It was a win that we needed, a win that it might have been the Prius, a bit scruffy, but I think it was really, really good. And you just got to see about the goal. I mean, thank God we scored early. And Thomas Frank, we know his sides go at teams really early, don't they? Think about Brentford last year. I think they scored 3 goals in consecutive game weeks in the first minute or so. One of them was against Spurs, actually, by Bryan Mbeumo. But again, started quick. Lucas Bergvall driving down that right-hand side, didn't he? I mean, absolutely ran his socks off. And then, whips the ball in, and the goalkeeper, whose name has escaped me, what a howler. What an absolute howler that keeper's had. It might be one of the worst mistakes I've ever seen from a goalkeeper. It was like Andre Onana was back in the Champions League and, throwing the ball in the back of the net. It's going to make the highlights reels for years. It's going to make, with those back in the day, you have those silly DVDs that you'd get, like 100 football bloopers that would be on it. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. But sometimes you've got to ride your own luck. And I think, that running from Bergvall, the cross to put it in the mix. I think Richarlison was looking good there. Richarlison was good with some of his runs. Like, there was one in the second half where he made himself available at the back post. It hit his hand. It does look good. But my man of the match has got to be, and he was, amazing. I think he was the Premier League player of the game week 4 against West Ham. Bearing in mind, by the way, I will mention this before this. So we've had 4 game weeks in the Premier League so far, and 3. It's a new thing. 3 players of the game week have been Spurs players, which is phenomenal. And it was this player again who was class tonight, Lucas Bergvall. Does not stop running. Absolutely incredible. I mean, I think Sars started this season really well in midfield, but Lucas Bergvall is giving Thomas Frank a selection headache. I just thought it was absolutely class. So good. And I love the midfield options we've got now. Bring on Polina at the end to shore it up. Just was absolutely fantastic. Really, a great asset for us to have. I think, Mohamed Kudus could have done a bit better in certain areas. But as I say, this team's growing. We're not playing the best football as of yet, but we're getting results. And this is a results game. 3 points on the board. Fires us up that Champions League table. To get the points early is better in this campaign because our trickier games against PSG and Dortmund are towards the end of the league phase of the Champions League this year. So yeah, really, really good. And the Europa League champions, or the champions of Europe, whatever you want to call us, start off with a win. And it's just really, really good to see. Thomas Frank should be chuffed with himself, and so should the Spurs squad. Again, I just had so buzzing we got a clean sheet. It is the things I love to see from this squad. Absolutely buzzing. But that's all what we get time for today. Before I end as well, just to let you know, on Wednesday, so this is obviously going out Tuesday after the game, but on Wednesday on the TalkSport YouTube channel and also Connected TV, wherever you can watch TalkSport, there will be a very special episode of Inside Spurs with myself, Majestic, and former Spurs player David Bentley. So I'm looking forward to meeting him and talking to him tomorrow. That'll be live, as I say, on the TalkSport YouTube channel, wherever you watch TalkSport or listen to TalkSport. So that should be really good, talking about West Ham game. the Villarreal game, start to the season, Bentley's career, obviously, having scored that absolutely magnificent screamer against Arsenal in that 4-4 game. That would be, that's going to be a class thing to talk about. But yeah, that's all from me today. Hope you enjoyed the game. Hope you enjoyed this video as well. And as I said at the beginning, if you are new to the channel, leave a like, subscribe. As I say, 10,000 subscribers. If you could join the Central Spurs Army, I'd be very, very appreciative. Hit the notification bell as well, comments, and also hype the video up as well. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you already subscribed, why don't you share the video? Share the love. I want to grow this to a massive subscriber base. But until then, on the next video, I'll see you guys very soon. And up the Spurs. Ciao.